Hello and welcome to another episode with me here on YouTube, sharing my love of knitting with you. My channel is called aKnittersSoul. I am called Elo and I am based in Oslo, Norway. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. It's nice to see you here again, and if you're new, I do hope you find something to your liking. So yeah, let's dive right into it. Admin stuff. I will link my social media information down below. Among those is gonna be Instagram, Ravelry, Ko-fi. I'm not providing Facebook, as that's not a medium I'm overly active at, not even in a private sense. So yeah, Ravelry and Instagram are definitely those places you can reach out to me and get in touch the easiest. I will also be linking all the patterns that I mentioned, yarn shops, or eventual mentions of podcast, whatever it might be. You will find the information down below. And if I do miss out on mentioning or writing down something, if I do miss out on writing down a name or pattern, please do not hesitate to reach out. I will gladly point you in the right direction. What I am wearing is this gorgeous sweater that I was so lucky to receive as a gift. It is knit by Gunn-Iren from Gunnis Englestrikk, and it is called Orbits. It's by Rachel Ilsley. And yeah, the reason why I was so lucky to receive it was that once she was finished with it and she put it on, she was not overly happy with the fit that she had achieved, unfortunately for her, not so unfortunately for me. I absolutely love and adore this. I find it sits on me really well. I will stand up for a quick moment there. It has ever so slightly a longer back than it has in the front, and I feel it fits me like my Wilfreda, which is one of my actually go-to sweaters, as it is just so easy to throw on, and yeah, I just love that oversized fit without being overly boxy or overly oversized. And I believe, if I remember correctly, the base color, the gray color, I believe is from Hedhehog. I really should have done my homework, I guess. But I believe it's Hedhehog Ask. And then she has used all kind of different leftover yarns that she has from different projects to create this kind of a fade that goes from that bright pink into this lilac-y kind of pink and back into that light pink. So yeah, absolutely love it. I've been living in it more or less since I received it, so I've made some forced breaks from using it just not so as I wouldn't wear it out in one go kind of thing. But yeah, I love it. I love the colors, and yeah, it's just so beautiful. And I remember when she first showed it on her podcast, I remember just thinking that, oh my god, that is so beautiful. I don't know if I I wouldn't even say like if I would be wanting to knit like one myself, but it was just like I would want exactly that version. I just loved her colors. So when she kind of said like, oh, I think I'm gonna give it away or sell it away or something, and I just like, ooh, can I please be the lucky one? And I was. So yeah, not knit by me, but I absolutely adore it, and I've used it a lot. I actually had to use a D-pillar to D-pillow the sleeves, because it does pill a little bit on me, this yarn, but not like a lot, so it's not a huge problem. Yeah. And also I'm wearing a cowl today that is sewn by me, nothing fancy, just like simple cowl. I will get into why I'm wearing one now later on in the episode, I think. But yeah, that's what I'm wearing, this beautiful, beautiful sweater knit by a beautiful, beautiful knitter. So thank you so much, Gunn-Iren, for allowing me to be the lucky one to take over this beautiful sweater. I'm sure your viewers will agree with me on that. That's a lucky, lucky thing. Let's get into the finished objects, because there are a few. Mostly they are small. There's been a lot of gift knitting, that's one thing, but also I just needed something quick and easy, so yeah, there's quite a few small things, like a lot of accessories that I've knitted since I saw you last, and that's pretty much what I've used most of my time on, I think. Yeah, for sure, for sure. So the first one is gonna be me from the past talking to you here today. So I will leave you with my past me for a moment there. So yeah, this is the past me coming to the future you to share a pair of socks that I test knitted for Gunn-Iren Simensen. And the reason why I wasn't allowed to share it in my last podcast is because it is a part of her Christmas surprise, and yeah, I would have spoiled the surprise for a lot of people if I would have shared them in my last podcast. But without further ado, here they are. I do have two. They are called Girlandersokker, which is garland socks, and I guess it's due to these pearl ridges that look like garlands that it got the name that it did. I have pretty much knit the pattern to the T as it was written. The only little modification I did is that I opted for a more square heel, as I wanted to duplicate stitch a golden heart on the socks, and for that I felt that I needed a square heel. Because yeah, I just wanted to add that little touch to the socks, and the reason I picked that particular yellow or yellow, like orangey yellow, dark yellow, is because of the specks in the socks. You can see the yarn has this sort of same yellowy specks. Because yeah, I was thinking about adding a red heart and maybe a green heart, but no. I also know that the person who's receiving is gonna be a recipient for these socks, because I'm gonna give these away as a gift. Loves yellow, he loves greens, so I think these are gonna be a perfect gift. But yeah, very simple socks, knitted on 225 millimeter needles. The yarn is by Garnfen. There's a little nugget that fell out. And it's called Vår I Bøkeskogen. And I have spoken about this yarn before. I used them to knit my Rumpelstiltskin socks, and I really love the yarn. I like the look of it, the feel of it. So yeah, actually there's another modification I did. The pattern does call for old Norwegian cast on or German twisted cast on. I find it to not be as stretchy as I would prefer and like, so I did a tubular cast on these socks. I like the look, I like the stretchiness of it. So yeah, love them. I think this really, really cute, and yeah. These are my Girlandersokker by Gunn-Iren Simensen. Back to you, future me. So yeah, that was my first finished object. The second one is a gift knit, so I do not have that anymore, but I do have some pictures which I will put up as I speak. It is a sheltered poncho by Anna Rauf. I did change it a little bit as I thought it would be more practical if it did not have the hoodie, so I opted for a ripped neck instead, and I made it quite high so that she would be able to like really pull it up and snuggle into it if it got too cold. And also my first idea when I first started knitting on that poncho was that I would do kind of like a fade, or you know, and go from dark green up to the light green. But as I started knitting, I had such a hard time wrapping my head around the pattern. It's nothing to do with the pattern, it's 100% like user error in that case. It took me so much time to wrap my head around, like, when did things start. I don't know, it's like, you know, sometimes you read a pattern and you're like, oh yeah, okay, this is when this is happening, this and that, and that. You can really like visualize it. I was just not able to do that with this pattern. And again, 100% user error, nothing to do with the pattern. But once I kind of like figure out some of the things along the way, I managed to do the changes that I wanted to. Because I decided quite early on that I was not going to do the fade in the way that I had thought about doing and kind of bought the yarn for. I decided to do more like a color block, and in order to achieve that, I had to actually implement some intage technique in there, and I think it worked out really fine. I really like having that darker bottom and then a lighter top, and then even like a cowl. I think it, not cowl, I mean neckline. And it's a really nice pattern, I would say. I actually could think of making myself one as well, and maybe also in like sort of color block style, but time will show. The yarns that I used in there, I will very quickly go through them. It is Rauma Finul garn held together with Kit Silk unicolor from Drops. And let me think now. Yeah, the main body part was knit in this dark green. It is 0476, and it's sort of like this really nice dark foresty color. And I paired it together with this here, and it's showing up a lot more blue on the camera than it is more green. It is number 19, and I feel like those two colors created this really pretty color, so I was really happy with that choice. Then the upper part I knit out of this lighter green, maybe showing up a little bit more yellow on the screen than it is in real life, but it's khaki green, and the number is 0489, and I paired that one together with this apple green Kit Silk, and this is number 18, I believe. Yeah. And again, I was very pleased with the marled coloring that I got out of these two colors. And then the neck, I have this tiny little nugget left there. Is this sort of pale, yeah, that's, I checked it on the web page, and it's kind of like a pale strågul, oh, I can't think of the word, maybe I'll post it, but it's sort of like a pale yellow, it's actually kind of called, and it's number 0402, and then I paired that one together with the Ito Sensei, the colorway Cabbage, I believe. Yeah, and I just kind of like the fabric I got, pairing those kind of warmer woolly yarns with these more kind of cold colors, cool colored mohairs. It's really pretty, I think. And the receiver was very happy and very yeah, she was very happy with it. I always tried to give them like a return card. I was like, if you don't like it, you know, I can make something else for you. But she's like, no, absolutely love it. And also the pattern calls for just putting a couple of stitches under your arm to keep the front and the back together. I did reinforce it a little bit by knitting up a little kind of like a flap, like just garter stitch, a flap. I just knit it up in between and just, yeah, so that it would be more like sturdy even, but I don't know, it just felt so flimsy having just a couple stitches in between, but hey, that's me. So yeah, that was my sheltered. Yeah, some more gift knitting. This one has been in use quite a bit since its delivery, so to say. This was my Christmas gift to my man. It is a Oslo hat, so it's like a triple thick hem, and I knit it out of Hot Socks Pearl with cashmere in the colorway 4. It's by Grønn. This is my first time knitting with this yarn, and I actually quite enjoyed the feeling of the yarn. So much so that I actually did end up purchasing another colorway that they have in my local shop so that I can make another one of these. But I might opt out of triple layer of the Oslo hat. I just make a double layer just to have variation with how the thick and warm the hat is gonna be. But yeah, he's used it a lot. It's been the perfect kind of hat with the weather we've had now in the month of December and January this far, which has been quite a few degrees below zero. We've been down to, that I registered down to 22 or something, and I've heard people saying it's been down to -30, I think, even here in Oslo, which is quite seldom. 20 is not so seldom, it happens, but I know there is like along this long country there's been even like colder weather. So yeah, this was Oslo hat by Petite Knit. I forgot to mention that. But yeah, super happy with it. Used up over 2 balls, 2.5 or so. So yeah, happy with it. I didn't like love knitting, I must say. It was all just fine, but yeah, I think it was partially because, you know, knitting one color, it's the same, there's nothing happening really. So but hey, it sits really well on my man's head. He's really happy with it, and that's kind of the main goal with our knitting projects, isn't it? Let me see. Yeah, then I kind of had thought that I was done with gifts and gift knitting with that hat, because it was kind of like a last minute add-on, that one as well. I thought I was gonna stop with sheltered poncho, but I ended casting on the hat. And also I just suddenly had the idea that I will knit 2 pairs of slippers. That was on Monday, before Christmas Eve on Sunday, and we were supposed to be traveling up to my mother-in-law's place to spend time with her for Christmas. So yeah, it was quite ambitious, but I made it. And what I knit was, and these have been worn a lot, I actually had to de-pill them quite a bit. It's double slippers. The pattern is from Sandnes garn, and I made 2 pairs. So these are for my son, and he does not have small feet, to put it like that. So this is, I think, like 43 in size ish, and these are a 39, 40-ish size. So these are for my son, and these are for my son's girlfriend. And this is kind of like what prompted me to cousin these on last minute, is that every time she comes over she has a pair of house slippers with her, and I thought like, ooh, wouldn't it be nice that she had her slippers here in the house, so wouldn't have to be dragging those back and forth. So the construction of this slipper is so this is the inner part, this is the outer part. It's a really clever construction. It gives a very nice shape on the slippers, I feel. And you start at the bottom, you knit like in the round till you come to the point where you split 4 toes, so to say. And yeah, you knit up separately, and then you felt them, and then you just sort of let me see, there, push it in. But yeah, you felt it before, like you felt it while it's open in like in 2 parts, and now, well, it's within each other, so you get more even felting. And what I did on the bottom, so that they wouldn't be slippery, I once again tried that liquid latex. And I must say I was kind of disappointed that it kind of turned really yellow when it was drying. So it kind of looked dirty straight away, which was kind of annoying, but hey, they work, and that's the main goal. They're nice and warm. My son especially, you know, has been wearing so much that I actually had to do quite a heavy de-pilling, and I see there is still some pilling happening there that could be removed. You can see, yeah. But yeah, no, he loves them. I've knitted quite a few pairs of slippers for him through the years, and he's always worn them well until worn out. And the yarns that I've used are Fritidsgarn by Sandnes Garn. Colorway 1021 is the same on both. And then, so to say, inside of it is this blue Fritidsgarn again, and it is a colorway called 6072, which I do think is a discontinued color, as I did buy it in a discount basket, so I think that's not gonna be easy to get a hold of, but you could really be using any color of your choice and liking. And the pink that I used is Vams from Rauma Garn, and it's a colorway called 056. So yeah, Rauma Garn Vams. So yeah, I mean, again, I wasn't making my life easy for me by doing the whole 2-colored version with having the inside and outside different, because in the way, in order to achieve it, I actually ended up doing intarsia again. So yeah, but it was worth it, well worth it, because I think it's kind of fun having like his and hers matching kind of slippers it's like it's matchy, but then you have like that little pop of color which kind of is different. So I actually could think of making more of them maybe at one point. We'll see about that. Oh, and I'll show you the liquid latex that I used because I've had questions about it before. Just a second. So I just did a search on Google on the internet, and this is what came up. It is natur latex 60% liquid latex. So it's oh my god, what's the word? Yeah, you can use it on different kind of things, but one of the things, or like some of the things, is, you know, having under your soles of your feet, and it's also to keep like your rugs from slipping around. So yeah, it's quite versatile, and there's quite a lot, and it doesn't take much. It's shining so much. But yeah, I quite like that because if you, I mentioned it, I believe I mentioned it last time as well, that I've used those kind of pop-up kind of tubes that you can, yeah, do a patterning or whatever it is, and then you just sort of iron it stock. But I never felt that was good enough. I always felt that it wore off quite quickly and was kind of fidgety. It was also, I think, more on the expensive side than with this bottle of latex. So do check it out. As I said, I was a little bit disappointed with it drying that yellow, because I did notice that when I did it on the socks for my niece, but I'm still working this out, I guess, so I'm not gonna say anything bad about the product. It's more like I don't really know. So yeah, that was 2 pairs of double slippers. The pattern that, or like I do the English version, I think at least, is by Liv Stangeland, so I would think it's also by her, the Norwegian version of it. But you can definitely find it on Sandnes Garn pages, or yeah, on via Ravelry as well. But I will link it down below, so if you're interested in making those slippers. Let me see. Then I started making hats, and I had such fun with it that I'm planning to make more, and there's several reasons for that. I will touch into that maybe later on. I started making scrappy marl hats by Beata Jesek. She, I think, is the founder of Hedhehog Fibres, if I'm not wrong. So it is a free pattern, and I've seen the hat pattern before, and I thought, oh, this is a clever way of using up like all this beautiful like leftover yarns, or those mini skeins that you have that you maybe don't know exactly how to use, or like whatever. So I cracked into my calendar. I used to have like 24 mini skeins of an advent calendar from 2022, which was by Garnbutikken Fortuna here in Norway, and I loved that calendar. I thought it had so many beautiful colors, and they seemed to be all kind of in a fade, like you would get several days, and I was just loving every single day of that calendar. Really wasn't any skein that I didn't like, or like mini skein. So really happy with that calendar. But they have stayed. I haven't used them, so I thought like it's about time to put them in use. So I started making hats. And this is my first one. And in this bottom there, together with a mini skein from the calendar, I have the hot pearl from my hot pearl socks with cashmere from my Oslo hat. And I just love, like you see, like there was this sort of very bluey skein, and then there was more like a bluey skein with some purple coming in, and then it was like a skein that had a lot of purple in there. So I just love that kind of fade that it created all by itself by just marling a little bit, because you're knitting with 2 strands all the time, and I think it's just so pretty. So I can recommend this pattern. I mean, you could do it with any pattern really, like or figure out the numbers yourself really. It's not a complicated one. I just used it, so I didn't, because I haven't been able to use my pairing once again, like no surprise there, but I just enjoyed it so much. This is my second one that I made. So even though there's quite a good of a fade, you can see there's quite harsh, like harshish, transitions here and there where I've changed the yarn. Also in the top of there I used the Stranded Dye Works crayon, which I used in another hat. But again, I think it's such a fun way of using up those leftovers that you have. Try to put them together. You don't have to do a fade. You could just really just play with colors, as she actually just suggests in her pattern. Just test out how things work together. I am getting in some light from the side, and I see that it's kind of blowing out my colors a little. I might have to take a break. We'll see about it. And then the third one I made, again, there's some yarn from my calendar, but I also, let me think now. I did add some other yarns. I know for sure that I have some Madeline Tosh, like this bright pink hot drop pop. Oh, I don't remember. That I added in the bottom just to get a little bit of that bright pink. And I wanted to kind of blend in the change of color a little bit more. So what I did was that when I was nearing an end of a little nugget that I had, I started striping. I don't know if you can see, maybe you see, maybe there. You can see it's some striping. So what I did was that I kept one of the yarns just throughout, but the yarn that was supposed to change once the other one sort of ran out, I started striping them, and that I feel like created a softer marl and softer fade on this, and I absolutely love and adore this yarn. I think it's so pretty. It's in the calendar is number 24, so I don't know, is it like golden and red colors for Christmas maybe? I don't know, but I think it's so pretty, so fun. And I also think I still had some of the crayon yarn left, or like the Stranded Dye Works crayon color work, because of this green flecks in there. I think that's what it was. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun using up all of these beautiful mini skeins that I have and making hats. And I'm gonna be making more because I do think they fit me quite nice and they are quite easy to wear. And I like the lightness of them, and I like the warmth it gives. It's not the thickest, it's not the warmest, but it's kind of like perfect, like for a little bit milder weather or something in between. So yeah, fun. Can recommend the pattern for many reasons. Let me see. Let me fix my hair a little bit. And yeah, I already have planned another one. I've been picking out some, can't really tell when I'm doing that. I picked out some purple colors. This one I got in an Easter surprise, I believe, or maybe it was a sock set. No, I think it was a surprise. And then I have some pale lilac in there. I also have, this is also from a calendar. Yeah, this one I actually had at the top of this hat. So yeah, pairing all the purples or something that has something purple in there. This is my leftovers from my boxy. This yarn is by Ulltøsene, and I think it was, no, it's Inkart 69, and she is working on getting her shop up online again. So looking forward to that, please, if you're watching. So yeah, there will be more of these hats because they are fun, they are quick, easy to grab and go, and very nice way of using up all those beautiful yarn leftovers that we have from different projects, but we don't know what to make of them. Because me personally, I have not been, I mean, like, I started at one point way before it got very popular. I started to knit on a mitre squared blanket, but I knitted with some woolly wools, I think it was, and I ended up making a doll blanket. And where was I going with that? Yeah, it's not my cup of tea kind of thing. I love seeing other people's versions, but for me it's a little too long-term project, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so I kind of opted out of that. I haven't done that. I started on a granny stripe blanket, and that's when I realized the fact that I don't want projects that's gonna take me like 10-15 years to finish, just because I'm waiting for more small ends or small yeah, leftovers to, like, I didn't want to wait for more leftovers in order to finish the blanket. I want to be able to, like, knit on it or crochet in it if I feel for it, and just if I really get into it, the groove, just finish it. But that's me. Like I say, I admire those who manage to do those blankets because they are really cute, and I understand where it's coming from. It's a really wonderful project. Let me see, those were Scrappy Mall hats. Oh yeah, my Anna Rauf shawl. This is by Elisabeth Gigernes, also known as Hedhehog. She has her beautiful shop online. I will disappear. I love this pattern. It's so beautiful in its simplicity. And I like the shape. I like crescent shawls a lot, so that I don't end up with like this really deep triangle, even though I like them as well, but I don't use them as a lot. The deep triangles I use more like, you know, like you get the triangle on your back and you wrap it around and then you tie it together so it gives this nice warmth. But then I use more at home than under jackets because it just gets too yeah, I lost the word. It just gets, it's too much material kind of happening and hard to kind of wrap in. I have washed it, I have blocked it, I have sewn in the ends, but I have not snipped and glued yet, so if you do see an end flying around, then that's why. But I think it's so pretty. I absolutely love it. Soft, lacy, beautiful, wonderful. Yeah. And the yarn that I have knitted out of is Drops Flora, and it's colorway 02, so more white. It is a, I think it's an alpaca blend, or is it 100% alpaca? It's 65% wool and 35% alpaca. So yeah, fingering weight, really nice option for all of those merino wools. There's some alpaca wools that react to this one. It seems to be okay. I'm not 100% sure. I will have to try it. If I do react to it, I will gift it to somebody special. I'm sure somebody wouldn't mind having this. So pretty. Elisabeth has done such a wonderful job. She, if you remember, she also had that hat pattern and glove patterns, mitten patterns, I mean, not gloves, in the same fabric, and it's so pretty. So pretty. And originally I did think of using up all 3 skeins of this yarn because I had 3 of them in my stash. But when I had come more or less to the end of the second bowl, I realized that that shawl is big enough for my taste. So yeah, I haven't used the last one. And I still have some left from the first one as well. I have not waited yet, but yeah. You can say that I used 2 skeins because there's not a lot in here. But yeah, really happy with the way it turned out. I think it's so beautiful. I've read about it before, and yeah, can absolutely recommend this. And it has been living in my beautiful bag by Gunn-Iren. This is one of my first bags that I bought from her. And it has to come out in winter times with the beautiful reindeers, and you can see there's some pearls that she's sewn on. Yeah, so pretty. So cute. And it actually looks like she's... No, it must be the fabric. But it looked like, you know, it's been kind of printed on by hand, but I think it must be something that's done by a machine, so to say, even though it looks like it might have been by hand. Might have been done by hand. So, and then the last finished object, isn't it? Let me check. Yeah, because that's those are a pair of socks. They are Vanillia Socks, so nothing, there's 2 of them. It is a very simple Vanillia Socks. I did the shadow wrap peel again because I wanted to have that look for this sock, also because I wanted to get those 2 stripes in there. Also because, I don't know why I just said that. Anyway, I have striped it. It's not a self-striping yarn. I have striped it. It's 4 by 2 stripes. So 4 with this light Arvetta, I will show you in a second. And then a drops multicolored one, and a white, I think another Arvetta, or maybe possibly Fabel. Let me see. No, that is not. God, what am I doing? There. Wrong bag. Okay, the white is Fabel, Drops Fabel. It's number 100. And the light blue is Arvetta Classic by Filcolama. And it's a colorway 197. It's really pretty pale blue kind of color. Depending on like the light that's landing on it, even has a little bit of like a green hue, but it's definitely pretty much what you see on the screen. It's sort of light blue. And the last yarn I'm gonna have to take a work in progress here is this multicolored. Really not easy to show, but I don't really have a good roller. Let me see if I can push it out there. Yeah. You see there's some greens, some blues, and some like even like purpley tones happening in there. And it's colorway 340. This is the same yarn that I used in my Koivu light in the body. So yeah, just using up my stash yarn and making more socks. And I think they turned out pretty. I mean, I had to sew in quite a lot of ends as I was striping it. I don't know why I didn't make my life easier and make wider stripes, but I'm happy with the way it turned out. I think they're really pretty. So yeah, that's that. That was all my, yeah, finished objects. Now I have a couple of works in progress. And I'm going to be mentioning the ones that I've been actively working on. So those I haven't worked on, I will now be pulling out this time around. One of the projects I cast on just before Christmas was Sweetness and Light Shawl by Anna Rauf. Because I just wanted to have something easy to knit on, something I could kind of grab with me when I went for knit nights. So at first I pulled out this yarn. Actually, we can start like that. I pulled out this yarn. I've been wanting to knit from this for a while. It is a yarn called Kajastus by Novita, and it is a 75% wool and 25% polyamide blend. And originally I did think of making mittens out of it, and then I, so to say, voted against that. Then I thought like maybe I'll make socks out of it since there's not a nice polyamide in there, and I was like, I don't really want that. So I started thinking like, what about like a little shawlette of sorts, and then I came to think of this shawl here, which I have knitted before. It's been a few years. Actually, I test knitted it. Was it 2012 or so? And it is a perfect pattern really to use up your, like, even like half skeins or whatever, because I looked at my Ravelry page and I saw that I had done a version where I have striped in a different color at the end. You can for sure change the color of the lace, as in like use one color here and then with the intage technique just add on a different color lace. You know, there's so many options. It's a very simple lace. You will get into it quite quickly. I'm just trying to see what is the right side here now. It looks pretty much just, gosh. Yeah, that's it. It's a very simple lace, as you see. It's a 4-row repeat. It's no difficult stitches of any sorts. And yeah, it's a bit more than just a simple garter shawl. It has a shawlette. It has that little extra lace to it, which I kind of enjoy. And yeah, it gives me also the option of using up all of the yarn, in the sense that I can just make sure that once I get to the midpoint of that yarn, and I just start to decrease, which I have started doing now. So I have come to the mid part now. Jesus. I don't think I've spoken about this before, but I have started to weigh my yarns pre-knitting more and more, because I do see that a lot of the bigger yarn companies, they often have skeins that are not the full weight as they're supposed to be. And it was the same with this one here. It is supposed to be a 100-gram ball, but when I weighed it, it only had 93.20 grams, which is quite a lot. It's like about like 20 meters off. So if you think about it, like as a knitter, like when you're sometimes playing yarn chicken, then you know how much those meters matter. So that's actually one can be like a tip of a day, that weigh your yarns before you start knitting, just to be sure that you have enough, because I see this is quite consistent, at least with yarns from my drops. I've seen it also with other big brands. I'm just trying to think that I'm not gonna say anything wrong, because some yarn brands, they always have a little bit more or more or less on point with the amount of it. But yeah, I would say 20 meters is quite a lot of difference. I've seen with a couple of my mohair yarns that I've bought as well, like you're supposed to have 25 grams, but you have maybe only 23 grams, and you can just imagine with the mohair yarn, it's even thinner and it's even more meters that you're kind of missing out on. So just like, yeah, a thought to take with you that I've spoken about before. I recommend those little jewelry weights where you get more like accurate weight for your yarn than maybe your kitchen weight. They are not expensive, and it helps you really to calculate your yarn. But yeah, absolutely loving this. I think it's so pretty, and it's been fun to knit it because I'm just like, oh, let me see the change in the color. I just wanna work on it a little bit more so I can see the color change, which color is coming now, how it'll transition. So yeah, it's been fun to knit on that. But again, it's something that I grab when I need something simple to knit on, that I can still more or less talk to other people. And let me see, I have 2 more works in progress before I get into my plans and acquisitions and those kind of things. Let me see. Where did I? Oh, there it is. Sorry. Next one I have on my needles is what is called the Allegra, however you pronounce them, socks from 52 weeks of socks. It's those. I thought they were so fun. I wanted to knit this, one of those designs I really wanted to try out and knit on since I bought the book. It's one of the books I think it kind of drew me to it. So again, I went into my stash and I was already working with this yarn, so I thought like, oh, maybe I'll put that one as a sole. And then I thought like, maybe I'll put this green for toes and heels. And I was, oh, sorry about the noise. Sorry, did I lose that ball of yarn? I was gonna use this yarn by Martin's Lab, I think it is, for the top of the foot and the not the cuff, but the leg. But then realized it doesn't have any nylon in it or polyamide or any sorts, and it might have been fine. But I know that I wear out my socks, not wear out, but I get some pilling on my socks above my heel. So even though I did think about, like, you know, with the construction that this sock has, it might work out that I could put something without any nylon in it into that part, but I was like, no, I'll leave that one. I'll make a hat or something, or a shawl or something out of it. So instead I opted for the Arvetta Classic in the colorway 977. It's sort of this beigey color, very simple color, nothing like special. But yeah, I cast on that, and I mean, I have been questioning my choices of yarn a couple of times, as in the colors, but I think they can become fun in the end. But I must admit, I am not enjoying the picking up of the stitches along the lines here. So that might be like the only hurdle for me to be casting on these socks again at a later point. Even though I thought, oh, it would be so cool. Like, I'll show you the picture instead. It would be so cool. Just imagine. Like, knitting, I had this idea of knitting this bit here, like with a self-strapping yarn. And then like everything else in the same sort of either solid or something yarn, or like getting those Louboutin, how do you pronounce that, those shoes like where you have like the red sole and this like rest of it is black. And I thought, oh, how fun would that be, like you have those very like boring looking socks when you look at them like straight at, like from above, from the front, and then if you like get a sneak peek from the side or below, then you would have these bright pops of colors. So yeah, so the pattern is well written, and nothing to say there or nothing to comment there. I do have two. There's another one there. It looks kind of weird and funny while in the making. But yeah, I'm not super happy with the way my picking up is turning out, but it's also partially user error for sure. And I think if I would knit them again, I would, instead of like knitting the first stitch on every row, I would probably slip it for cleaner pickup, I think. I'm gonna have to give it another try, I think so, but I will have to finish these first. I must say it's not the first thing I gravitate to when it comes to knitting right now, but I will make them. I was contemplating at one point I'm actually ripping them out and like leaving them be, but I thought like no, I want to go see through and see how they turn out and have it tested like properly and not give up halfway through kind of thing. Oh yeah, and those socks, so the pattern is by Rebecca Mauser. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, I'll put it there. Allegria and Rebecca. But yeah, I think they are super cool, super fun to look at. I just need to make them. And the last work in progress that I've been working on, which I actually cast on yesterday, another pair of socks. And you'll be seeing a lot of socks as long as I have the mojo for it, because I have plans of making a lot of socks this year. Along the lines, oh no, not along the lines, alongside with also other things of course, but I will have more focus on knitting socks and I will tell you in a moment why. So another pair of Vanillia Socks. That's also gonna be something that I'll be doing a lot of, like Vanillia Socks, probably gonna sprinkle in some patterns as well. I've said it before, I think I do like Vanillia Socks the best, for many reasons. But yeah, let me see. The yarns that I'm using for that are Dolce Sock wool, which is a superwash, 75 superwash wool, 25% polyamide. It's colorway 943. No, it's not, sorry, it's colorway 2. The lot was 943. And it's by Hobby. And it is paired together with some leftover yarn that I found in my stash, which is Fabel Drops. And it's colorway 108. So I'm using up stash to the best of my ability. So yeah, those are my grab and go project right now. And yeah, the reason why I am thinking that I will be knitting a lot of socks this year, or that's my sort of big goal this year, is that I got a feedback from my sister-in-law after that she received those 2 pairs of socks that I made for her, that she pretty much and her family loved them. And why I'm saying that her family is that she had my tulip socks with her to her parents' place for Christmas, and her sister was there and brother, and she was like walking around and showing off the socks, and there was a lot of talk about both the constructions, because the toe construction wasn't something that they were familiar with. They're not huge knitters, her words, not mine, but they were like looking at it and studying it, and there was a lot of talk about it. And like, if I can toot my own horn, I do think those socks turned out quite pretty. But also she said that the thinness of the sock that you get when you like knit on those finger and weight type of yarns is so nice, because it still fits in your boot, which is something that I've been saying for years as well. I do like those socks because they fit in my boots, and also they're pretty, you know, you get something that is homemade. And she also said that she felt that her feet were more warm, they were less kind of sweaty, because it's more of a I guess it's less nylon in them, I guess, maybe compared to the store-bought ones. I'm not sure. Anyhow, she was like, oh, you can, if you don't mind, we'll put in an order for as many socks as you can knit, because they just love them, and that's always like a super compliment to get for your things that you need. So, and I also have so much beautiful sock yarn, which is commercial yarn, which I am thinking first and foremost to be used as for knitting socks, so this is like perfect opportunity and golden reason to be knitting a lot of them. So yeah, my goal is to knit a lot of socks, probably gonna mostly Vanillia Socks, also partially because I have a lot of really colorful commercial yarns, so that the yarn could shine mostly or do the most of the job by itself. Yeah, I'm rambling, sorry. You're gonna be seeing a lot of socks. As long as I have the sock mojo, you'll be seeing a lot of socks, that's for sure. So yeah, those are the things I have been working on. I did pick up my rose sweater, but there's so little movement in that there's not really much to show for. It's just a couple of stitches. So I guess I'll go over to acquisitions and gifts instead. I went to a knitting market here in Oslo. Was it at end of November now? It was at least after, I think, that I recorded last. And sorry, I was contemplating not going there because I find that the location that they have is knitting market, or it was a Christmas market. I think they maybe called it for Christmas market. I do like the house in itself, I like the location in itself, it's very easy and accessible to get to, but I find it can be quite dark in there, and like when you have a lot of like knitters cramming up together, it gets so warm in there, so I felt I was boiling over pretty much. It was just so hot, so many people, and really hard to see the colors on yarns because I do find the lighting is not good enough. But you have areas where it's really good, and then you have areas where it's not good, and it's also, it's like you're just going to this sort of tunnel. You have to, you hardly get to the tables. So I could wish for that I had better lighting for the time that they have those markets there, so you can actually really enjoy and appreciate what we see. I could also appreciate if they could spread it out a little bit more in other rooms, so that it would be easy to get to the vendors, because I do find that I almost like give up on getting to the vendors, or give up to getting to see the yarns, because it's just, you know, it like, yeah. But that's like a little rant, and that's just me. I think I lost something. Yeah, I did. Anyhow, I did buy some yarn when I was there, and some other little goodies. I don't remember exact order of them, so I'll just show you what I did get. I stopped at a booth that's called, is it Snetto Design? Knitting accessories, jewelry. There's a card, and she had all the like stitch markers and like those stoppers, so I just had to get those llamas. Ooh. And I guess a reindeer, because I thought it was so cute. And I did get 2 of each, so I have like a pair of each. Ooh, upside down. So yeah, that was one of my first purchases. I'm quite sure of that. And then, oh, I'm just trying to put this back. I have this nice beautiful little bag sachet, so it doesn't get lost. Then I've been hearing so much, and I think I have touched, yeah, I have touched this yarn before, but I just couldn't land on a colorway. Sorry. This is silk cashmere, and it's 75% cashmere, it's 25% silk, it's 50 grams to 600 meters. It's a quite pricey little ball to buy, but you get 600 meters, so it's a lot of meterage for that price. So all in all, it's not gonna be so much more expensive to buy one of these compared to maybe 3-4 balls, 3 perhaps balls of silk mohair of sorts. And I've heard people rave about it, so yeah, I'm looking forward to trying out. This yarn is by Pinsvin Design. So yeah, check her out. And I bought this particular color, which is called Grønn, which is like icy green, because I had this, this is my stash, Bichebouche Le Petit Lamb's Wool in my stash, which is pretty much spot on the same color. So that I would like to make a shawl out of this. Most probably might change my mind, but this is my plan for now. And this one I bought a little while back from a shop here in Oslo, which is called Fruquist. And I thought like I'll go and pick up some more, because one skein is, even though it's quite good length on lamb's wool, is 248 meters. I will be lacking some, like, I want to make a bigger shawl. What I'm trying to say, there's 600 meters here and this is only 248, so I wanted to add on something, and wanted to add on another skein or two so that I would get like a good size shawl. But last time I was there I couldn't find this yarn anymore, or like she had some but not a lot, so I'm wondering if she's discontinuing it. So what do you do when you're like in that kind of a pickle? Well, you look at Rauma if they have some color that's close to this, and they do. This is also lammull, as in like lamb's wool. They look more alike in, actually no, they look quite good. They're pretty much spot on in the color. This is 250 meters, 248 meters, so they're pretty much the same. And I think it's gonna give like a, yeah, like I said, probably like a really nice shawl. I have a couple of shawls in my mind. I haven't quite decided on it 100%, so I will not talk more about that. And let me see, that was Pinsvin Design. I'll put that card in there. Then I found a booth that was really fun. I really liked it. There's a lot of fun colors, and on bases that are usually not so, I'm not gonna say popular, it's not the word I'm looking for. Common, not common. Most of the times you find like hand-dyed yarns which are on like merino sock basis, and this is more like on woolly wool basis, which I really like. So the shop or the booth was called Garnbar, and they do have their own webpage. I still have not checked them out. I was meant to look into it actually, but I did not. Anywho, when I went into that booth, this caught my eyes. I could not walk past it. I have no plans for it. I do not know what I will make of it. I will figure something out. But this is Rauma finull garn, so sport weight. It's 100 grams, 350 meters. So yeah, to be continued at one point. So yeah, that was Garnbar. So yeah, I will link it below. And let me see, that was that. My floor is filling up. And this is one of the booths that was really, next booth is one of the booths that was really popular. You could see that people know about this booth, or like this vendor, this hand dyer, and she was very highly in demand. It was so cute to get into her booth. And that was one of the places where I felt like it almost boiled over for me, in the sense that I was getting so hot, like literally hot. I had my big jacket on. I had taken off what I could, but like either you have to carry it and still it's, you know, yeah. But I did find the yarn I took with me, and I think it's so beautiful. It actually shows up quite accurate on the screen. This is pretty much what it is. This is beautiful, beautiful tonal green. Absolutely divine. It's a thin merino yarn. It's 75% superwash merino wool with 25% nylon. And it's called Meadow. And the dyer is called Lille Rille. And I think it's so beautiful. I really am drawn more and more to green tones. I do see myself adding them into my stash and really enjoying working with greens. Something happening with me, some changes coming along. I also picked up a booklet there, which is by Gunn-Iren, and it has all these different like Christmas ornaments in them. I have thought about it for quite a while, and I thought like, why not? Some nice little projects in there to do like for Christmas time. I have like a lot of greens, or like dark greens, light greens, brownish greens. You can make those leaves, and those you can use even like in autumn time, or you know, it's pretty like, it's also kind of smart. I think somebody else mentioned it on a podcast or something, that you can make those little things, put them on gift wrap, like when you wrap it, you put them on the gifts, and then people can put them on the trees and have it as memories for years to come. Yeah, I've got like little socks and hats and, you know, mittens. Sweet. And that, and oh yeah, so that was it for that knitting market. Which, what I have forgotten to talk about actually is that I went to what can you call it, like a showing? What's the word for it? Maybe I'll come, maybe I'll think of it in later on. But Roma released a new Fremstrik booklet, and they showed the models, and they had the designers there to talk about how they came up with the designs, their thoughts behind it. And this booklet is for fibres, like the DK wool yarn from Roma. And there's quite a few designs in there that I actually could think of myself making. The one I love the most is by Laura Dalgård, and let me see, it is this gorgeous colorwork design, and I thought it was absolutely fantastically beautiful. So that is my, I think, absolute favorite in this book. We do have another one that's really pretty here, which is this one there. It would probably also perfect for using up stash, you know, doing that little color work there. So yeah, this booklet has a lot of nice designs. There's another one which was very interesting construction on. Let's see, where is it? There is this one there. Really pretty. So yeah, that was fun being a part of that evening, you know, being able to see the models live, actually be able to try them on if you felt like it, seeing the different color combinations. They also had draws. So there was quite a few people who actually who won a sweaters quantity of fibre yarn for one of the projects from the book. I believe it was. I think that's what they said. So it was a lovely evening, actually. It was also interesting evening, in the sense that in my world, you know, like I am as a person interested in hand-dyed yarns, in supporting small local businesses. So I have used some time on the big web looking for different hand dyers, preferably locals, because that is less expensive, and also like keep it local to keep the local ones alive. And I know of quite a few hand dyers. I'm not gonna say about that I know a lot of, but like about a lot of them, but I know a few. So while I was sitting there and I was knitting actually on the Girlandersokker, and I had these two ladies next to me, and like, oh, that's an interesting yarn, and that's pretty, like, and I was like, yeah, it's by Garnfane, and you know, it's this and that, and they were like, oh, really? We never heard about this. And that was interesting, because in my world, with the people that I associate with through knitting communities, like, they all know about that yarn. They all are aware of these different kind of hand dyers. They all know about them. And it just makes me think that we have to be even better, like when we meet new people and interact with them, is like talk about these small vendors that have those pretty yarns, because that way we can help them keep their livelihoods or keep the business going, and also like keep the supplies, so to say, coming for us ourselves. That they have, like, yeah, give them livelihood is, I guess, what I'm trying to say. A long rant for that, but yeah, it was interesting just to see, because I thought that everybody knows about Garnfane, everybody knows about these like vendors, but obviously not. So I spoke a little bit about them and told them where they could find them. So maybe they have reached out since that. I don't know. No, actually, this. Oh, did I forget to mention in the beginning? I did, didn't I? Okay, I'll mention that in a second. I have bought some yarn to go with my Methera that I got as a swap, and I have bought some Finul yarn to match it. You see, it's quite nice match there, because I'm gonna need a skirt that as I've spoken about before, but I actually decided to go for this skirt here, because I was thinking about first that I would need maybe just like a ribbed skirt, and you know, try to see if I could make it work with the amount of yarn that I have. And then I thought, like, instead of trying to do this yarn chicken thing, and instead of maybe having, like, what I liked about the woolly skirts that I have from before is that they are quite flexible. They both stretch out and kind of pop a little bit back in, and I was just unsure if that was gonna be the same result I would get with this woolly wool yarn. I don't know. I don't really have a lot of experience with knitting skirts, I must say. I have knitted like 2 dresses, but they have both been from like woolly wool yarns, and I haven't had anything like tight fitting as it's skirt. So, and I have looked at that skirt several times before. I considered it before, and now I think I have the beautiful perfect colors for it, so that's what I'm going with. I have purchased some other yarns, but I'm not going to show them because this just really like fill up my color palette in Finul, so that I will come back to when I take them in use. So what I'm left with now is gifts. I can start off with this beautiful book that I've gotten. It's Nordisk mønsterstrikk Birger Berge, and I have done the mistake of not going through and marking out the patterns that I maybe considered as something that I would like to make. But I must say, this book has a lot of really beautiful designs that I'm quite interested in making, so could pretty much in that sense open any page on in this book, and you know, there's a lot of beautiful designs in there. So he's done a great job creating another beautiful book with beautiful Nordic designs. So yeah, check it out. Also, I went to a knit night. It was kind of expromptu, last minute before Christmas. And this was my first time hanging out with these ladies for Christmas time, so I didn't bring a gift, but everybody else around the table did bring a gift. And I haven't now checked with their last podcast if they mention. Yeah, I've already like how many? Yeah, okay. I met Tante Grethe, Nina i det glade tråd. Jesus Christ, I'm blanking. Tante, Indigo i Grønn, and Roar. They all had gifts, like I said, and I did not. My mind was not functioning in that sense at all. So what they brought were these beautiful handmade gifts. This is by Tante Grethe Strikker. This beautiful knitted globe. It has like this, what's it called, isopor ball in there to keep it nice, pretty. She talks about it quite extensively on her own podcast, so that one has been living on my wall here. And then Nina had sewn us all like these pretty pouches. She is a wonderful sewist. She makes all the bags, and she's this is like a print, vinyl print. I might be I don't know if I remember it correctly, but yeah, like little notion pouch. You can never have enough of those. I mean, like, look at all these little squares that she's sewn together. It's so much work. And Wenche had brought us all like these cute stitch markers. So pretty. And then Bente. Oh my god. I had just before, more or less a day or two before meeting with those ladies, seeing Bente's podcast, and I was like oohing and ohing about her needle felted things that she's made, and I thought, oh, that's so wonderful. That's like a craft I've thought about, and I don't know. No, I have not tried it for sure. I've thought about trying it, I thought about making it, but when I was seeing her stuff, it was just like so pretty and fun and cool. And then she gave us each one of the these gnomes, I guess, that she had shown. I mean, look at the details. Little scarf, the hat, there's a feather in the hat, the little shoes. I mean, it's amazing. And she had like different colors. I saw it on her on her podcast. So yeah, I'm not sure which color went to whom, because I was just too flabbergasted when I saw that I had received one of those. So I'm not sure which colors, but thank you, Bente. It's amazing. I think they're so cute. Look at that. So yeah, that was amazing of them. But like I said, I came empty-handed. I had enough with thinking about my sorry about that. That's my sister-in-law. I will call her back. So yeah, those wonderful ladies, they come with those beautiful gifts, and I came empty-handed, and it felt so silly for not even have thought of it. But I had so much going on in my head right there and then with all the gifts, and I don't know, I didn't have the brain capacity for thinking out anything else. And the two last gifts that I will talk about are very special as well. The first one is something that I bought for myself. It was a surprise in the sense that I didn't know what I was getting. I knew from whom. I knew, like, you know, that it was gonna be yarn. It's gonna be a skein of yarn, but yeah, I did not know the color. So I purchased it from Safransax. She has her own podcast here on YouTube, So if you do understand Norwegian, I do recommend it. She knits a lot of fun, like not fun, she knits a lot of like, well, yeah, fun designs, and she does spin as well. She does some other crafts, and she's really good at a lot of different things. And yeah, I just like her style. It's just like what you see is what you get, and like, you know, I guess I could aspire to be a bit more like her in that sense. I'm too worried about people's opinions at times, and she doesn't seem to give a bleep. So yeah, anywho, she put out a post on Facebook like, do you want a Christmas surprise? And I did, and this is what I got. You're not really getting the full beauty of it, but not far from it. It is on my Stellina base, golden Stellina base, I think. No, is it silver Stellina? No, I think it's golden, but it's so pretty. It's called Glade 2023, which is like Christmas Joy 2023, and it is a 75 merino, 20 nylon, and 5% stellina blend. And it's so pretty, so pretty. Like this deep golden hair, like this deep golden yellow, going through this sort of a pinkish tones and into this really nice deep red there. Really pretty. I do not know what I will make out of it. I haven't thought that far yet, but I know it's gonna be something special once I decide for what it's gonna be. And she also had added this sort of a I was gonna say gauge measure. Yeah, you see what it is. My mind is blanking. So that was that beautiful yarn from her, which was fun to open on Christmas Eve as a little extra added gift. And then, last but not least, Gunn-Iren. She gave me a Christmas gift, which she did not need to. I mean, I sent her some yarn because her and I, we had a deal, well, made a deal when we met up in autumn time at Ulltøsene. I would send her 2 of my embroideries from my school years, and that I would like her to sew into a bag or like something, make something out of it so I can use it. And the payment was supposed to be that I would give her some yarn of sorts, you know, like for the work that she would do. So I put together a package of that. Also, she has a birthday on the 23rd of December, so I thought, like, you know, I would gift her the socks, the Girlandersokker, her own design. I thought it would be like perfect for her as in color and everything. And also I had a, yeah, doesn't matter. I put together a little birthday present for her. And so and that was around the same time. I sent it in the same time that we had been talking about this sweater, and she was like, oh, I'm gonna gift it to you because I got one from you in the summertime. And I was like, okay, fine, I'm okay with that. It was sort of like a swap, I guess. But then she added also a package, a gift, which she did not need to do because Gunn-Iren, you got that yarn from me as like a payment for the work you have ahead of you for sewing. Anyhow, she sent me this cute package of her. Ooh, I'll show this first because then I can put it away. There is some stitch holders and stitch markers. Let me see if I can. There is one there, you can see, and then you got the bubbles there, like as in your stitch holders, your needles, and there's some more there, and there's some candy, and the nail file, which can be very handy if you have a snaggy nail that's catching on to all of your yarns. And if that's not enough, then she sent me a project bag, which is this kind of cool newspaper style. I really like that. It has a very interesting, like, it looks like it's quilted, but it's not. It's more like I don't know what it's called actually. It's kind of like printed into kind of the fabric. It's really cool. And then you have this sort of oh, what's the word for it now? Furniture kind of fabric. It's like this sort of thicker. And look at that, the zipper, and it's just like her craftsmanship when it comes to sewing is just amazing. And it's the simple lining in like white, which I love when they are bright, because then you can really see what's in there. And still, if that's not enough, she also added a notion pouch. Look at this cutie. It's such a cute little, like, she's really good at putting together different fabrics, you know, and creating these designs. And also she's really good at sewing, so I'm just in awe. I mean, she did not need to do that. So yeah, so pretty. So thank you so much for that. So that was all of my stuff coming in, and yeah. But what I forgot, sorry, speaking under the camera, what I forgot all the way in the beginning, I believe at least so, is that I have a giveaway winner. And I don't know how I forgot that. I was supposed to do that during the admin, and I did not. If I did, then I will edit this out. I'm quite sure I didn't. But I had my knit along for September, October, November, and then December. Christmas was really like the Christmas knit along, Christmas gift knit along was the main knit along, and then I had those sort of knit alongs that went parallel to those. And those 3 other ones are finished. I've sent the gifts, and yeah, they're done for her. But this one I drew yesterday. I closed the thread earlier, but I did the draw yesterday, and it was admission number 104, post number 104, and she is called Strikker. So yeah, you're gonna have to reach out to me with your full name and address, and I will ship to you my gift, which is this bag, which is by Johanne. And she has Instagram page called Strikkevesker. This was at one point given to me so that I could either keep it or gift it to one of you, and I'm choosing to gift it to you. And partially that's, well, not partially, but it's kind of perfect, because I was thinking that, you know, the gift, which I'm gonna keep it secret, it's gonna be only for you to see once you see it, once you get it. I mean, I did a little bit snooping in your Ravelry page, and I put together a gift according to what I saw there of colors, and I do hope you will like it. But yeah, reach out to me with your name and address, and I will ship it to you. I can't say as much that there is 2 skeins of yarn in there, which I think should tickle your interest, according to your Ravelry page at least. So yeah, get in touch with me and I will ship it to you ASAP. So yeah, that was all for my knitting content. I do not know how long I've been speaking for, not sure, it doesn't say on my camera screen. A while for sure. Life, if you want to stay around for that. Okay, well, no, I finish it up like that. That's it for the knitting. So if that's what you came here for, thank you so much for being here and spending time with me, and I hope to see you next time. If you're interested in life stuff, okay, this is it. So yeah, it's been a minute now. Last time we saw was just at the end of beginning of December. So Christmas has come, Christmas has gone. There was a lot of knitting for Christmas, which was not planned for. That took away a lot of energy and actually a lot of my brain power, so hence not knitting a lot on maybe some of the bigger projects that I have lingering. I will get to them, but like I said last time, I'm not gonna be hard on myself, I'm not gonna push myself, I'm gonna be kind to myself. Because I have the tendency of pushing too much and then getting kind of burned out, I guess. But yeah, we actually ended up renting a car this year because our old car is still on and off with if it's working or not. It does not seem to like cold weather, wet weather. So yeah, we rented a car, we drove up to my mother-in-law's place, and we created a Christmas Eve there. Well, actually, now how is it gonna be? The day of Christmas Eve, the girls have always had the oh god, what's the word? They always come over for like waffles, some Christmas bakes. Jesus, not good. Sorry. All kind of baked goods that we have for Christmas. My boy had baked a lot of those, as he has done now for a couple of years. He gives them away as gifts, because you have this tradition is the word I was looking for. In Norway you have the tradition of baking slag, which is like you bake 7 different kind of cookies, or like Christmas cookies of sorts. And there are some that are everybody is pretty much in agreement with that this is what it's supposed to be, and then there are some that people are not in agreement with what's supposed to among those 7 Christmas cookies that are supposed to be in like you're supposed to make. Anyhow, it was very nice getting to see my mother-in-law again, because you know she is not in the best of health, but she's doing fine. And it was a very slow and very quiet Christmas Eve for us this year, which was kind of unusual, used to having some people around, some chattering, but yeah, it was nice anyway. It was we did enjoy ourselves. I had good food, which I prepared earlier in the day. We had some wonderful gifts that we received, which you've seen some of. So yeah, and on the first, or like Christmas Day, første juledag, Christmas Day, we went to my stepdaughter's mother's home and their family, which also has been a tradition for quite a few years, that we spent the first Christmas Day with that part of the family, which is also a tradition that we've cherished for many years now. So yeah, it's fun, because then we are like a lot of people, and noise level is a whole different like level. It's really nice. It's not so far away from my mother-in-law's house. It's about half an hour drive, so it's like short way for us to go there and yeah, have that Christmas magic kind of delivered on a plate, I would say. Because they are really good at like decorating their house and getting ready for Christmas. And then we had a different type of Christmas dinner, so we get to taste all the cuisines of this Christmas of Norway, I guess. And then we decided to do an early exit from Trøndelag, which is like the mid-Norway, and come back home. And on the way home I was kind of like feeling really tired and fatigued, and I was like, this is strange, like why do I feel like I want to fall asleep and like can't keep my eyes open? I was feeling really uncomfortable. And when we got home and I had unpacked the car, I pretty much cleared away everything. I was like, if I lay down now, I'm not gonna come up again. And I went and laid down, and I stayed in bed for 2 days because I had COVID. What a way to finish the Christmas, I guess. And I did have plans of like recording another video between Christmas and New Year's Eve, but yeah, that COVID, it just knocked my feet off under me. I like quite literally slept for 2 days. I got up only for like drinking some water, getting some like pain medication because I was having a lot of aches and discomfort and dizziness and what have you. And yeah, but I dragged myself out for New Year's Eve. I even prepared food for New Year's Eve. Probably wasn't so clever of me because I was being so tired, but it was nice. We had a pleasant evening. The kids were here, at least for the dinner portion, and then for some like games and stuff before they left for like some friends and yeah. So New Year's Eve was quite quiet compared to what it's used to be. I mean, we don't even need to really buy any fireworks or anything because we can just look out the window and there's a lot of things happening. So it was nice. It was just perfect. It was actually perfect in the sense that I wasn't really feeling well. But that's the thing, that, you know, like I've been like struggling with like really getting back to health now. I still have this dry cough. This is why I've been sitting with this cowl. It's very comfortable, but maybe not the prettiest thing to have. Because if I don't have anything around my throat, I start coughing, and it's really hard to talk without coughing because, yeah, I'm not older yet. So it was a rough round of COVID. At the same time, wasn't as bad as last time I had it, so hey, it's all good. I'm just trying to think because I feel there's something that I'm forgetting now, something that I did. Oh yeah, I did do one thing before Christmas, and I kind of want to do a call out to all of you knitters out there. Here in Oslo, and I'm sure we have it all over the country, we have something called Gate team, which is like a street team. No, it's not the word I was looking for. It's kind of, God, I'm just blanking. Well, it is like very directly translated. It's a street team, which is people who volunteer to help people who are living on the streets for whatever reason. There's a lot of people who struggle with addictions who are on the streets, and it's been really cold here for a long time, so they've been asking for donations for clothes, like donations as in money, for clothing, for different kind of things. And I thought that I've been knitting a lot of like hats, and I had a scarf, and I had some other things. I had some mittens, and I thought like I'm gonna donate that to them because I know there's a lot of people struggling, and I would love to help them with the means that I do have. And because like, I mean, with today's economy, without going too much into it, it's not easy for a lot of people. But it's even worse if you're actually on the streets. It's like below 20 minus. It's really hard to keep warm. So these volunteers of this team is doing this great job that they are distributing clothing. They have some like soaps and deos and what's it called? Yeah, anyway, you get the point. And they also have food, both warm food, I believe, and like sandwiches, packages that you can take with you. And they do this every single Wednesday in downtown Oslo. They just meet up there and they help those people who are struggling, which I think is a beautiful cause. And I know a lot of people are knitting for different causes. We have which is called Amanda Project, which is for premature babies that knitters are asked to knit blankets, hats, mittens, socks, and I also think some sweaters for those babies, and deliver that so that, you know, the parents could, well, the child would be giving a set when they are born, which is like a great help. So I just want to do like a call out that if you feel drawn to it, and if you have the time, capacity, and I'm sure we all have some yarn. Like, knit some socks, hats, mittens, scarves, whatever you can, and donate this to these causes if it's something you feel for. I'm not gonna say you have to do it if you don't feel for it. We don't have the possibility for, but if you do, look out who your local volunteers are for those different kind of causes, and see how you can help them. Because I know we knitters, a lot of us at least, we knit so much we don't know what to do with it. Yeah, so this is my kind of call out, I guess, to all of you out there to help in the way that you can, without hurting yourself, of course, financially or any sorts. Like, do what you can, but yeah. So yeah, I did deliver some things, so I guess it was a long story to tell that. I did deliver some items like hats and mittens and scarves, so hopefully somebody is feeling a little bit warm out there, and has it a little bit easier thanks to that little contribution. But I know it's just like a drop in the sea, so if you can help, do. So yeah, not much other things happened. I'm gonna go to a concert next week, or is it the week after. Gonna see a Norwegian artist. I'm looking really forward to that. We'll be going there with some of my girlfriends. And then, oh, that I'm gonna have to try to do. It's time to sign up for another knitting festival, so hopefully I will be able to do that. See if I can get a spot this year as well. But yeah, not big things happening, but some small things that I'm looking forward to, and yeah, life is good, I guess. Or I guess it is what you make out of it. So yeah, trying to look for the good things, the positive things, and see the brighter side of the life, I guess. I'm just rambling. Really don't have a big goal with anything where I'm heading to, but yeah. Again, Strikker, reach out so I can send this to you, and to all of you who have commented, who have liked, who have subscribed. Thank you so much. I have read every single comment. I don't think I've replied. I quite surely know I haven't replied all of them. Please don't take it personally. I've been out of it. Yeah, I hope it's not gonna be as long till next time. And yeah, I'll just see you soon again, I hope. Bye!